Hi. Any improvement? Any this on the YouTube? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi. The YouTube is going on now. The YouTube is free now. Yeah.
Okay, I went off a bit. I'm
Yes.
back now.
Yeah, I noticed. Just hold on a few seconds.
Okay, when
Let-
are we starting?
We're starting in next few minutes. I think
Okay,
network issues. YouTube is not.
okay.
Yeah, we'll sort that out then, and we are already live. We are streaming already. So just get people to join us. So let's get started. Let them know we've started. Okay. Hi, people. Good evening. Good evening. Depending on where you're joining us, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever the time says in your area. I just want to confirm I'm audible. If I'm not, just let me know so we can fix that glitch now. Yeah. Am I audible? See. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to know if you guys can hear me and those on YouTube, can you guys hear me? Am I audible? Is my connection free? And A thumbs up will do. Yeah, Esther, can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me clearly. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone. Firstly, I need to apologize for the delay for starting late, which is not in our nature. We always start ahead of time and early. And today is a very unique day, starting with the fact that my connection was not so free initially and a little glitch here and there. And thankfully, yes, actually, the whole thing crashed at a point and we had to set up again. So I'm grateful that we are live now. And thank you also for those that are joining us and those that will be watching the replay. Um, we look forward to having an experience today. Okay, so firstly, okay, yeah, the case of starting up late, and I really apologize about that. Once that's cleared out of the way, I need to introduce myself for those that are meeting me for the first time and those that have been joining our program, so we don't get to meet ourselves too much. So I'm going to introduce myself again. I'm Frances Aborigho, the founder of Shimej Foundation. I am a public speaker. I'm a tech educator and facilitator. I'm a creative designer. And what else? What else? What else? What else? I mentor. I mentor with the Google Hustle Academy, ADP List, and also Shimej Academy. So I train in different fields and I love design. So if there's any other thing you want to know about me, you can easily find it in my profile on LinkedIn or any other platform, my website, francesaborigo.com, or you want to know more about me through Shimej, you can as well visit our website and also know about what we do. So that said, Shimej as a community is a platform for women, especially young mothers that have had to break their time at work, career paths at a certain time because of marriage or childbirth or migration or whatsoever, or significant events in their lives. So these women had to stop work at some certain times or considering to stop work. But now we have a privilege that is called digital skills, tech and digital skills that can empower these women and give them the ability to continue working right from their homes, balancing their life and family. And especially for people that have value family like me, you have enough time to spend time with your children and also spend time doing what you love doing, using the skills that you learned over time. Like you went to university and you can't see yourself sitting there not doing something worthwhile with the knowledge that you already gained, the skills, the ability that you have. So we Shimej are here to support you. And recently we start talking about helping women to use the skill they already have. So sometimes some people have taken bootcamp programs and are empowered, but somehow they don't see themselves as qualified, probably because they got a free training program or so. They don't know they are qualified to apply for job as much as every other person. So we are working, and every time in our community, we try our best to supply you with as much resources and information for you to break that cycle and become the person you are meant to be. The goal of Shimej is to make sure that every woman thrives and get to the point of leadership as much as she is willing to go. Okay, so we're always there to support women. That said, that brings me to what we are to talk about today. But before then, I would like to talk about what the event we had recently, the 20 days LinkedIn Visibility Challenge. I want to really use this opportunity to appreciate every single person that joined in the challenge. Trust me, it's not easy. Excuse me. If you're watching from the outside, from the side, you think that all these things are easy. But to come up with content, especially for someone that has not been doing this for a long time, to come up with creative brand stories and things to tell about what you're doing, what your work is all about without marketing it, like literally saying buy from me. My people will be in your contact. You understand? My customers will be in your contact, that kind of statement. Coming out professional to show up for yourself and build a visible brand for yourself is not easy like it looks like. So those that actually put in the effort and did it for 20 good days, I noticed that they haven't stopped. But for that 20 days, I'm sure that something big has happened for them personally and also to their mindset that internet does not bite and neither does LinkedIn. So For me, my social platform is LinkedIn. And also, it has also given me privilege to meet people. And I think within the course of our conversation today, you understand why I prefer LinkedIn and how it can be such a help to you. Okay. So that said, I welcome you all once again. Yeah, I welcome you all once again for joining us and also creating our time to be part of a community. If you haven't joined our community, please go to our website, www.shimejtribe.com. Okay, one word, Shimej Tribe. And when you get to our community, our website, you will see join our community. Feel free to click the link, fill the necessary information, and you find yourself at our doorstep. We'll let you in because it's a virtual community. You can join us from anywhere you are in the world and be part of the experience. Okay, so welcome once more to our upgrade webinar. This webinar was created to ensure that we follow you in a stepwise process of growth. So from bootcamp, what next, from startup ideas to venture, and then building the brand that is behind the whole beauty, the whole project, the whole idea. There is always the brain behind everything. So how do you represent? Do you hide behind your logo or do you stand up for what you represent? So with that, I'm going to be sharing my screen so we can easily get into what we are up about today. Okay. Esther, please help me confirm you can see my screen, please. I'm not seeing this. I want to reduce what's open on my screen so I don't get to have this interference. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so Esther, can you confirm you can see my screen? If you can see, send in a chat or a thumbs up or anything. Let me confirm my screen is visible. Then let's get going. Oh, great. Okay. So yes, even on YouTube, yep, my screen is visible. So let's look at your personal brand, defining your personal brand. Why am I so interested in personal brand? Now, okay, thank you, Salawa. Thank you for joining us and also for acknowledging you can see my screen. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, so here we are, defining your personal brand. Now, aside from the subjects I love teaching, which is creative design, creativity, conceptualization, innovation, I love personal branding for a certain reason, and I'll tell you why. Now, I'm going to start with a story. And this story is about myself because I'm naturally I used to be a very shy person. I wouldn't talk about myself. I would never write about myself online. I would rather be that person that doesn't have status picture and I'll be reading what others are doing. I'll laugh and I'll mind my business, face my front. But at a point in time in my life, I came in contact with someone that actually was a mentor. She gave me a reason why I should show up for what I do. So there was a particular event it was a training program during my NLP training. And someone asked a question, what are you into? What can I find about you on the internet? And we tried. He couldn't tell because that was it's a session in the class. So we asked a few questions. So when he got to my turn, he couldn't tell because he couldn't find anything straightforward about me because I was hiding behind the curtains of my profile picture or whatever profile I put in because I remember it was not necessarily my picture that was on my profile. Then it was just Facebook. And it was like, I can't tell what you do because there is nothing defining what you are all about. You're selling or you're representing. So that was when I started thinking deeply into this. How would I want to be seen? Or how am I being seen? Okay. Now, another thing about personal branding is like owning a shop and not showing up. So the shop is there and the customers are coming and nobody is answering them. It's not like you're not going to make sales, but there's a difference between the fact that they can see a human, ask, what's the price for this? What's the price for this? What's this and that? It's just likely. It's not like everybody that comes to meet you online will definitely ask you how much you sell things. But this particular situation is that I'm just using it as a reference that you own a shop and you don't come out, you don't show up, you don't get seen. So this is very important, that you really need to know how important personal branding is. And based on the nature of the digital world that we have today, you sell more than your business. Let me tell you the whole secret. So if you say there is this brand, let's call it cashew nut brand and everything, the cashew nut might sell based on people that had access, direct access, not by reference, direct access to it. So people that are outside that vicinity where you display it will never know about it. But there is a difference where you show up in an event and they say, this is the owner of whatever you call it, cashew nuts. Okay, let's call it things are coming up in my mind, very funny. Okay, let's call it sweet pea cashew nuts. And this is the owner of sweet pea cashew nuts. Do you know, for the fact that you are represented, many people would take the cashew nut if you have a product in your hand, right from you then. And why is it important for you to show up for your brand? Because people are eager to buy from a human being than a robot. Okay, they believe in association. Before, there is something I used to do, and I know if somebody finds me in that space, just forgive me. That was then. I'm no longer like that. When I see people from my uni, I didn't want to connect with them. I don't know why. I was just like, okay, yeah, I've known everybody in my university, or maybe they may know me or one or the other. It might just be boring. Let me go and meet people. Until I learned something. People love association. Okay? They love association of a common interest. So when people come in contact with you and know that you're related to them one way or the other, just see yourself conversing. You find yourself in maybe in Dubai and you're talking. I used to be in Lagos. I'm like, where were you living in Lagos? The conversation becomes more interesting because there is a common knowledge. So, and same thing, that is why how we are. People are naturally social beings. So defining your personal brand takes quite a lot of things. It does not come out like show up my customers and your contacts, that kind of statement. That's not personal branding. Now, I'm trying to emphasize the importance of defining your personal branding and standing out for what you belong to, or what you believe actually is more important than the product. Why? Because in a good way, the story behind the product is more important to the customer than the product itself. How? Because that product you are selling, you are not the only one selling it. The only difference between the two of you and all your competitors, is that you have a story that they can resonate with. Okay? Remember when we used to use these products when we were much younger, like this Joy Girl, Joy Soap. We had that person, Joy Girl, the brand ambassador, in our head, like, this girl is so beautiful that this soap actually made her look this beautiful. I would rather use Joy soap to look this beautiful, because we love association. Okay, so your personal brand defines you more, defines you, and set a tone for your business in a great way. So if I am the founder of Shimej today, and I set up Shimej, I make everybody handle everything for me, and I hide behind the curtains, everybody, one way or the other, would ask the question, where is the founder and who is she? And if they find out maybe I'm a politician and I'll be fighting with one person that is very important to that person, what will happen to me? They will run away from Shimej because of my own nature. And that is why it's very important to know what that you are representing, a body, an entity. And that's why when you show up online, you show up like what you represent. Okay, so discovering so today we're going to have a blend of conversation talking about your personal branding and your authentic self, because if you are not your authentic self, you won't be able to represent. We'll get to understand. So we are using someone that I love so much, Brene Brown. because it helped me a great deal when I was struggling with depression and a whole lot of things in my life then. And I came in contact with her conversation surrounding your authentic self, being in the collision, more like you're the one fighting for yourself. Nobody understands you much of yourself, much as yourself, and being scared and naturally scared, because we're going to get to that conversation. Defining your personal brand, the approach I'm going to be taking today is not the ones you regularly know, your brand tone and all the rest of it. We're going to touch them. But the thing is that one thing I'm very passionate about is to make sure that as much women that come in contact with me becomes their real self. Because when you become your real self, you will achieve anything you have in mind because you trust yourself. That's very much important. Your personal brand is authentic when you are naturally authentic. Okay, so discovering defining your personal brand and also discovering your authentic self work hand in hand. So I'm using insights from Brene Brown's subjects. So now we have our agenda today. We'll cover the personal branding, the authenticity matter and insights, then building your confidence. It's very important for you to know that your confidence, like I've already said earlier, is very important. Now, imagine me talking about my business. I would come to introduce myself. Hello, everybody. My name is Frances Aborigho, the founder of Shimed. We love to support and encourage women up to the level of leadership. I hope you guys join our community, and you can visit our website and join us. Thank you very much. And you leave, and someone like, are you okay? Are you okay? Is there anything wrong? Why you sound like that? And you'll be like, that's the way I talk now. What will happen to people that are listening to you? Then what's the difference with, hello, my name is Frances Aborigho. You're welcome to join our community. One thing, or the other, and I'm done. By the time we finish the conversation, what happens? Yeah, I think I like her person. Yeah, I think I can work with this person. This person will understand me. She's not going to judge me. I think I like her vibes. So somehow, if I get to the community, I might just find people like her more, and I'll be able to be free and be myself. You understand that kind of thing? So building your personal brand also requires you to be the best of yourself. Okay, so understanding your personal brand, exploring the concept of personal branding. So personal branding is a practice of shaping how you are perceived by others. It involves defining your values, your passion, and skills to create a unique identity that resonates with your audience and aligns with your true self. So we've talked about you as a person being a representative of what you sell, your brand. Now let's talk about the people that you're even trying to represent yourself for. You understand, there are people that you're trying to show off for. Every business has a founder. They have a visionary or whoever that came up with the idea. Anyhow, that person is a human being and you must show up for yourself. So for you to show up, you have to command the respect you need, and as well raise the standard of your business in the view of people that are going to be buying from you in such a way that they will respect your business as much as they respect you. So they're not going to see your business as an afterthought. They will see your business as something that you are passionate about building. And in case they want to invest in it or buy from you, they are buying from your authenticity. Okay, so gone are the days where companies are going to set up and say, this is IBM and everybody should start buying our product because it's IBM. No, now your presence does a lot. What happens to Tesla whenever, or Twitter, the stock and everything, whenever their boss makes a comment online or tweets something? You notice that it affects their sales, it affects their market. Whenever he makes there's a statement he might just make sometimes, Elon Musk. So there are some statements he might just make now, the market rises. There's some statement or action he makes, the market falls. So how does that apply to you as a business owner? Now, first, I've always told people, especially those that are taking my mentorship program, I always tell them, Please see your business as a Fortune 500. What would you do if you're Jeff Bezos? How would you carry yourself? And where are the places you're going to find yourself? And how can you enter that kind of environment? So I'm walking into a place. I'm a founder. I'm going to meet people that are founders. I don't care how much we've made apart, but the fact that I am stepping into that vicinity, I'm ready to explore every possibility for myself. Yes, there is room for me to remain humble, and there is also room for me to speak confidently about what I believe. Because in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, you're pitching what you believe. So now, who are your target audience? There are people that you created the business for. So for instance, you created shoes, slippers, or whatever. So let's talk about shoes alone. Let's look at shoes. If you were to go to market to buy shoes, you will find boots, and you'll find what do they call these boots that have metal inside for building and construction? I've forgotten the name of those boots. More like construction boots. You will find sneakers, and you find stilettos, like high heels and all them beautiful shoes for ladies. These shoes were not created for exactly the same people. The construction shoes were made for construction workers. And you find out what are the things what are the risks that these shoes can also help them prevent. How can this shoe make their life more comfortable and their work very easy and efficient? How can my shoes go better than my competitors while I still make big sales? You understand, within a range that is affordable. So you're considering a lot of things about your audience. Now, while I am busy considering what is important for a construction shoe owner or a construction worker, am I thinking about party shoes? No, because I'm focused on one audience per time. If in case tomorrow I want to start making high heels and shoes for ladies, I should have been able to make sales and make my market known that I'm very good at making construction shoes. So in case I bring out a new brand tomorrow, I'll use the win, the success I've been able to achieve selling this kind of shoe to market this one. I was like, we have never made a shoe that's sport. Our shoes are durable, our shoes are comfortable, our shoes are risk-free and protective, long-lasting or whatever. Now, if I'm making shoes for women, you know what to expect. You understand? So when you are talking about target audience, you need to define your target audience. Target audience are not just random. Anybody can buy from me. My customers are your contacts. Please, if you use those languages, repent, because eventually those customers will never find you. They are in somebody else's contact and not yours. So if you can define your target audience, you'll be able to know them when you will be able to recognize them when you see them. You'll be able to speak the language they understand. You'll be able to sell to them the way they want to be sold. Then finally, you'll be able to find them where they gather. Okay, so can we take that? Did anybody get what I say now? How can you how do you identify when you identify your target audience? Let's run through it again. When you identify your target audience, you'll be able to know what they want. You will be able to know how to sell to them because there's a way they buy, there's a way they behave. You'll be able to know where they gather and be able to identify them when you see them. Okay, so 4 things I have dropped. If you're able to take note of that, please keep it because it's very important, because you cannot become a brand ambassador for your business if you don't really know who you're selling to. Okay, so if I make shoes, okay, there's this particular lady. She used to be in my house a while ago, and she sells clothes. So a particular day came, and I was asking her, oh, all these clothes, you go early in the morning, you get out there, you go get them, and you supply. Then I asked her, sis, why don't you sell to me? Why do you always take your products from the shop straight to from where you get to your supplier straight to your shop? or straight to your clients, because then her shop wasn't in Lagos. So when she was in my place, she was making supplies to her clients. So you know what she told me? You cannot wear what I sell. Now, I was no way her target audience. And she knows where to get what I can get. Now, that's very important, because if you understand your target audience, you avoid distractions. So she knows what I need, because I was a new mom then. She knew what I needed, and she could get it. But I wasn't her target audience, because I'm just one customer, while the rest had been her target audience. So now she makes clothes for young ladies, for night parties, and all the rest of them that can show skin. While she knows me, I'll barely and wouldn't wear something that will show my skin that much. So she knew that I wasn't her target audience. So no matter how I spoke, I tried to convince her. She told me, I'll get for you eventually if I find something you can. So when she goes to her suppliers, they know her audience, and I supply her based on her demand. She may not be able to get mine. Yes, she wasn't able until a day came. She was able to help me to pick one or two pair of jeans, and that was it. Okay, and those jeans were very good quality, that I know that gave me the assurance that even her customers wouldn't stop buying from her, because she knows how to get good quality. Okay, so if you know your audience and you understand them, you know where to find them. So if your audience are actually on Twitter, my dear, don't go and sit down on LinkedIn and be shouting. Don't go and, if your audience are on Instagram, don't go and sit down on just LinkedIn and Twitter and follow them and be fighting on Twitter. It will not help you. It will not help you. So if you have a business, you have a target audience. Now, whether you like it or not, there are people that will buy and there are people that will not buy. So look out for people that will buy, because every business is meant for profit. Then secondly, for every business, there's a competition. Don't ever forget that. The fact that you've started a business means that another person has started that business or is planning to start that business. As soon as you start it, it's no longer a secret. Someone else is building that business, is starting that business, and might even outshine you if you're not doing the right thing. So if you say, I'm not going to show up, I'm not going to be the brand before my business, then you're actually letting others to show up and have the attention of the audience you are desiring to help. Okay, so let's go back to the slide and move on. So we've addressed the issue of shaping how you are being perceived. It's very important you look into what you are like and how you're being seen. So in the course of this, I want you to take your time and go on the internet and Google yourself. Just type your name and see what you can find. Then tell me, do you like what you're seeing? Then I'll tell you, you can control that, you can change it. The entire internet can say the same thing about you, if only you can show up the right way. So then, okay, so that part of what I was talking about during our visibility challenge, I was able to know some of our community members, especially those that participated. I found out some things about them. Sometimes we're just in a group and probably you haven't had the chance of working together, or they just joined the community. So I don't know so much about them, but aside from their names. Okay. So by the time they were participating in Visibility Challenge, they were telling their story. I began to know their brand. In fact, some of them, I knew their brand more than their personal name, because they were representing their name. So someone like One Stop Shop, that One Stop Shop cannot get out of my head again, because every single day, One Stop Shop posted. And she was one of our best participants. And a few others. And some of them had this presence online, but their business didn't have a particular brand name. So they are not associated with something in particular more than their personal brand. So, and that's not bad. That's not bad, because if you are identified as someone that is known, liked, and trusted, when you launch a business, you already have people that are paying attention to you. Okay, so don't ever think that because you don't have a brand name, a registered company, you're not doing well. No, what if you're a thought leader? What if you're meant to be an educator, or a counselor, or a mentor? So what is it that you stand for? In that case, when you don't have a brand, then you have a value that you're sharing. Okay, so let's look at authenticity. We've looked at about personal branding. Let's look at what authenticity is all about. So why authenticity matters in branding. understanding the significance of being true to oneself. So being true to yourself and your brand is all about say what you do with your chest and do what you say you can do with your chest. So earlier today, before this session, I was on a call with my senior bosses and they were looking out for people. Okay. So it's also part of the thing we do in our community. We do talent management. So when we have job offers and people that are looking for people, we send in trusted people. So if you're a trusted person in our community, it doesn't take too long for us to find out. And also if you are showing up, that's very important. We will, when offers that are very good for you comes up, we also sell you or push it forward to people that need it. So today, why the persons who are talking to me, let me not use any gender, when they were talking to me, they were asking for specific skill, which I know I have seen people like that in different places. Now, don't be fooled by what you see on LinkedIn, because that's the social media I use the most. Don't be fooled by all this. I'm very good at copywriting. I'm very good on social media management. I'm very good at I'm very good at graphic design. I'm very good at web designing. A lot of them don't know what they're talking about. So 2 years ago, I was in this group and there was this challenge. So in this group and the challenge and everything, everybody interacted and all that. People were selling their businesses. And I came in contact with a few of them. I was like, oh, this person has the skill I need. Social media management, copywriting, SEO, optimization, and all that. So I was very excited and I started reaching out to them individually. Then when I asked for portfolio, I'm depressed. Then the second one comes and says, I do websites, I do this, I do that. I paid you. And one day the young man called me and said, Ma, I'm sorry, I cannot design a website. I took my website and designed it by myself. So the funny thing was like, these are things I can do. I've personally empowered myself. I can do multiple things, a lot of things, because yes. As I work, as I teach, and I do everything, I try to strengthen myself with skills. So while I was doing that, I was like, I need help here. I need help here. I can't be doing everything at once. I need to employ people to assist me. But when you bring them into the picture, and you'll be like, are you for real? Are you for real? So some people will go to AI and generate personal profiles. Their portfolio says something else. I have come in contact with people, even till last week, someone sent me his portfolio. You know this, when you connect with people and they try to pitch themselves with me, this young man sent me a link to his portfolio and everything. And when I saw his portfolio, I was like, okay, I'm proud of you that you show up and you show up for yourself, but you still have a long way to go. So I didn't tell him actually to go back and start learning, but I know that he has some more work to do, okay? So I encouraged him to keep doing what he's doing and keep improving, okay? So now that resources are available, now that employers know what they want and they are seeing your competitors improving themselves, what would it be that you are not authentic about what you're selling? Now, let me tell you one truth. Will you just wake up in the morning and be perfect at what you're doing? No. Will you just wake up, take a bootcamp training, and be as good as your facilitator? No. We know there is a process to growth. Tell your story authentically. I am at this point in my life, and this is where I look forward to getting to. People trust people that say the truth. Okay, so there's a whole lot of them on the internet, a whole lot of them. I can still tell you to this day, while I was having that conversation, they were asking for a few people, and this is my own personal, my trust on the line, that if I refer someone that is not qualified, these are high profile job opportunities, and they get there and they mess it up. Who would they call? They will call me Frances, but you say this person can do this. You understand? So I had a lot of names flying in my head. I can only think of one person I have referred to someone, and the woman had come back to say, thank you very much for this guy. He has helped me very well. Okay, so it happens to be that a lot of people are not true. But when people find someone that is true and authentic, they hold on to that person. Okay, so if you are If you are a service provider representing your business, just know that you're representing the entirety, both your business and what you value. And your business, your authenticity stands for your value as well. Because if you value the truth, you will show up for what you are doing and how you're doing it truthfully in such a way that when people come to believe you, they can even see how they can help you. Okay, I need you to do this for me, but you've not come to this level, but I have resources to help you. I have been helped like that. I've been helped like that many years back. And the guy said to me, called me to his office and said, Frances, you're very good, but where you are right now is not where you belong. I'm going to give you all my books and my materials. You study it and come. That was how I led web designing, software development, web web development, software development. So initially in those days, it was not separated. Everything we just put together. You're learning PHP, then you're learning everything. So he gave me his books. And funny enough, it was W3 schools. So I went to sit down. I started learning HTML, CSS, and everything by then. So how did this happen? Because the guy saw that I am eager to learn, but I don't know what to do next. So at the point I am, I was truthful. I don't know it. This is the one I can do. And he said, no, I'm going to let you learn and I'm going to let you go and make money with your knowledge. So now he did not force me to learn. He gave me resources and I had to learn by myself. Anyway, let me not go into the details because even as at that time, I didn't even own a computer. Okay, so everything I was learning was in my head and on paper. So when I come to work, I practice on the system. He knew that I was eager to learn. So how can I be my authentic self? Let's read what's on the screen. Being your authentic self fosters trust and build deeper connection. So when we embrace our true selves, we encourage new relationships and inspire others to do the same around us. So ultimately leading to greater fulfillment and success in both personal and professional realms. So building your personal brand and being authentic about it is that if you're not good at something, say you're not good at it. So I cannot come today and tell you that I am a data analyst because I went to watch some videos on YouTube. No, I'm not. I'm not. I would bring someone that will do the data analysis and it's going to make everything work for you. I might just do my best to supervise, but I don't do that. Okay? So if you are only a graphic designer, but you're in the process of learning UI UX, say the truth, go. Because that person that may not employ you now because you say the truth might come back tomorrow and say, now you are ready. Or even find out later, or someone else will meet you at the point where you are ready and give you the right job. So imagine the number of persons that have taken job offers and failed because they didn't say the truth. They just like the price that was put in it. Okay, so if you're showing up for who you really are, people are going to look for you. So someone sent me a message on LinkedIn weeks ago. I said, Frances, I don't have your phone number. And I want you to do this for me. Let's talk. And we started chatting, and the chat moved from LinkedIn to WhatsApp. And it ended up in a beautiful relationship, a beautiful offer. Okay, in case you think it's all about chatting and being happy. Okay, so what are you? You are a business of your own. You as a person is a business. Now remember that when you are growing, your worth grows. The amount you're able to charge for your product grows. So like one-stop shop. Let me use her as an example. She sells dry fish like every other person. You can buy from your vendor, your nearest vendor in your street. But there is a story behind hers that you might not just buy because she is coming from a place of helping women that are experiencing domestic violence. She's trying to empower them, to show them all the ways to get financially independent by sourcing and selling fish. Everybody must eat. People eat fish. Okay, this is one of, even some people eat fish and gari, soaking gari. So you know that fish, people must surely eat it. And you bring it to not spoil in your hand. So how can I help women? She came from a place of building others up, developing a place of business, a place of sympathy, a place of social enterprise. Okay, she's coming from a place of empowering others, and at the end of the day, she's making sales. She's selling her fish. And if she's going to give you a mentorship training, she might say it's subsidized. But if you're buying her own fish, you might even buy it as a gift to empower another woman. So she might just do a promo and say, I want to sell 500 fishes today. And I'm going to put a tag to it. So for every 10 I sell, I'll give 500 naira to a woman. And if someone makes that sales to you, now she might add, I'm talking about business and marketing, she might add that 500 as an extra to her product. So probably her usual price was 2,500. She now makes it 3,000 and say it ends up as a donation to that woman that is experiencing domestic violence. We'll use it to build house for her. She's going to sell more than she used to at a higher price. And because we are emotional beings, we will happily give that money to her. And if she is that true person, she comes back and show you her report for every 500 naira she promised to give her. What happens to the rest of the money, which is actually her business? Business was good. So if you understand sales and marketing and understand that you are the number one person to selling your business. Now, imagine if you understand you're the number one person selling your business, you will put more effort to build your presence and your nature, your person. Okay. So how do you feel when you receive that email from your bank? And that email is not saying First Bank of Nigeria. It puts in the name of the CEO and say, I'm sending this personal mail to you, even though he doesn't know about that mail. But you see his name, personal. How do you feel about that particular mail? You felt seen. You felt understood. You felt considered. If you have any complaint, you can start making that complaint immediately. But there is something about this, like I told you, pour cold water on you. Yes, the boss sent me an email. Or when you receive that handshake from the president. Now, you're going to have that handshake, and it's so magnificent at that first time. But the moment that person is no longer at the president and gives you a handshake, it doesn't feel the same way because we associate a lot of things to that position. And that position gave the person, it became the person's brand at that time. And once a president, always a president, something like a former president of, you understand? And everywhere he's going, he's respected for that. Now, building your personal brand and your authentic self is hinged on one thing, and I'll tell you the secret. A lot of people have met me many years back. Yes, I remember okay, recently on Monday, actually, I was the MC in an event. It was a birthday party. And yes, I also do MC in events. I anchor events and also the MC, both virtually and physical. So this particular time, I haven't done a birthday event before. I do tech events, professional events, programs. So this is my first time going for a birthday. And it's not a baby birthday event. It's a 50-year-old. So I didn't know about it. I've already accepted that before I saw the details because it's kind of coming from a personal relationship. So I was like, it's okay, something I can handle until I saw it was actually a birthday because it was not in details earlier. Yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, there's nothing I cannot do. There's nothing I cannot do. Then I was having this conversation with a friend and she was like, Frances, you that used to talk like this. I say because you don't know me because when I'm on stage, I'm a different person. When I'm playing with you, I can be very cold and quiet. Like me as a person, I can be very quiet. Even those that are working with me will not believe that. I can be in my house for a whole week. Nobody will know I'm at home. It's only my children that will make me shout. You know that kind of thing children used to do. They will just shout, find a way of pulling words out of you. Then your neighbors might just know that you are around. You did not travel. So she was like, Frances, you that is talking like this. And for a while, that same period in time, we were together. We traveled together and we came back. And a good part of the time, I was on my earphone and I was taking some classes. So I wasn't so much into the chit chats going on. Aside from the times there was no network. So we were very good because where we went to, there was no network there. By the time we were coming back, I got network. So I sank back into my classroom. And she was like, you that does not talk like this. How can you go and call a birthday event? If you don't know, go and look at my video online. You see me dancing. So it's not something, but before I was not like this. What she was saying was absolutely true, because this Frances wouldn't talk except if she's asked to. In fact, if there is a meeting, I will always be the last to say something. And it's only when people insist I say something. But I came out of that nature. How did I? Now, there are stages in a woman's life. When you're very young, a baby, you're very happy, you're excited, you have dreams, the princess and all that and all that and all that. You want to be a princess, you want to marry a Prince Charming. Disney has spoiled us, and our goals are now dependent on what we see online. In fact, now TikTok and social media is not helping. So, and all these peppered them weddings and birthday ceremonies, that used to have cake that has 32 steps up. Those kind of things. When you see them, you say, God, when? Where am I? But being who you are, starting from the time when you believe in magic, you believe in fairies, you believe in all those beautiful things. Do you know that? Do you know that that's when you're your authentic self? We began to learn how to shut up. We began to learn how to shut ourselves down. There is this thing I saw recently, that the mother, the way you talk to your children becomes their inner voice. And I will assure you that is very true. Because I remember when I got into university, I was with my friends, it was getting dark. And the first thing I said was, my mother will not hear that I'm still outside by this time. I took my things and left. They were laughing. I was like, I can't. I can imagine my mom flogging me because I was not in the house by 6 p.m. I said, wherever you are in the world, start running so that you are in the house. Your leg is inside the door by 6 p.m. And once it's past 6, you will be flogged all the way into the house. And even in university, that still helped me. Okay, throughout my university days, aside from when I went to fellowship programs, I was always in the house before 6. It became a nature. I don't care whoever is calling me. I'm in my house. You can come and see me there. Okay, so the nature, everybody can learn to be a different person. All of us can be introverted, but the moment you can learn to be extroverted, you can learn to be an extrovert. You can learn it. And I'm telling you, this person you're talking to, I have learned it. I can remember the first time I ever shook somebody's hand. You can know how bad it was. I am naturally like that inward. If you ask me to greet people, I don't like it. Anything that will make me speak up. But how did I have to come out of it? You have to get back to your natural self. And that your natural self was when you're happiest. Okay? Your authentic self is when you are happiest. So find a way to create happiness around you. Now, when I say that there are stages in a woman's life, when you start your life, you have a lot of dreams and all that. Until you get married, you find out that reality no make sense. True. Reality sometimes, most times, don't make sense. It's not like what you imagined. In fact, Disney lied to us. Happily ever after, childbirth, labor room. Tell me, what is happily ever after inside that situation? Okay, but as a child of God, actually, you have trust in God. That's why we go through all these things smiling. But at the end of the day, does it mean that life has no part of it that make you joyful? Okay, so I began to experience and live out my authentic self when I found a place of happiness. How do I create happiness for myself? So you're entering a room and you're shaking, you're scared. Do you know what's happening? You're afraid. You're judging yourself, even though one is judging you, and you are feeling you're not worth the opportunity or the privilege you have. So you're all over casting all the negative things on yourself. You can't walk straight. You cannot be on your heels and stand up straight because you will be seen as too proud. You cannot wear clothes that are very bright because you want to be withdrawn into the crowd. Your authentic self is when you are happiest, because that's when you say the truth. I don't like this, go on. But if you're not authentic, that's when you are judging yourself and you start saying things that are not true. Adding small white lies anywhere just to look good and look acceptable. Now, being your authentic self has to be from a place of what? Let's say it together. Happiness. Okay? Why am I so particular about this subject? because I have been through all this. I've gone through depression. I've gone through postpartum depression. I've gone through all forms of things. I've gone through the process. If you watched my interview some time ago with the happiness queen, the man will be, you will see where I talked about there is a point in time I forgot myself. I have worked for many years in my life. I've had my children, and I woke up one day and I found out I don't know who I am. And she told me that is scientifically true. It's proven that you get into depression, you forget your past. I went that way. Now, how did that happen? I was talking to a close friend. We were having a high level conversation about some things. And he asked the question. And I said, Frances, why are you so detailed and all that? It was as if they just, you know how you uncork bottle of Coke and it does sizz, and all those sizzling of bubbles. That was how it's like my memories came back. And I told him, I said, guy, his name is Milton. I said, Milton, something is happening to me. So this period, it was the same period of time we did NLP. So we're having conversations surrounding that and the mental health. So I was like, I'm remembering myself. I have forgotten I went to university. I've forgotten I've worked for more than 5 years. As I then, I have done this, I've done that. And I told him I have to end this conversation because something is going on. Now, that is the state a woman can get to if you're not happy. Sometimes, psychologically, we can go through trauma, childbirth, experiences, loss of loved one. Yes, my mom died shortly after I had my boys, 2 days later. So I didn't cry. I didn't have the chance to mourn my mom or so, because I just had this, my boys, the twins, and I'm trying to receive visitors and everything. There was no room for me to sit down and go through my pain. You understand? So I bottled everything, and so life was going on. I was just being the strong woman. I was just being everything. And I gave birth through CS. Everybody was all over the place. There was so much noise and everything. Having to handle children, having to handle two of them, and children are crying all night or not sleeping. I didn't know I was going down until the point I found out that I was so down that I need to come back up. So when you are happy, now, then came COVID. A time came, it was COVID. And by then I've already started getting back to myself. And the whole thing happened before COVID. So during COVID, I found out I was trying also to get a nanny, because since then till today, I still don't have a nanny. So as at then, I don't have a nanny, I don't have a support. My mental health was going everywhere. So I didn't know when I was getting depressed. I was losing myself. Nobody did anything to me. Nobody said any bad word to me, but I was actually going down. Then, so that period of time, I was trying to get a nanny. I've tried to get some people, to get source people, how do they call them, the agents, and they were not coming forth. Then there's this, my sister-in-law, she was like, okay, I'll send someone from my place to come and stay with you. While she was working on that, she passed on. That was January 2020. And I went like, how do they say that thing? You just went down on yourself. Like, I got sad. I was disappointed. I was like, so I'm going to go through this year again without support, all by myself. So, but one thing happened. A friend of mine chatted me, say, Frances, by then I was weighing 100 and yeah, okay, I was coming back from 104 or so, so I was about 98. You can imagine how big I was then. So that called me and said, Frances, I'm trying to lose weight. If you don't mind, you can join me. I don't know anything about weight loss, but I want someone to go along with me. So if you don't mind, I'll add you to WhatsApp group. Let's do it together. So what we're doing was go on YouTube, find out, okay, we're going to skipping rope and lifting weights in our house, because then came the lockdown. Because when the lockdown started, there's no more movement. So that was my chance. And I lost 17 kg in my house. I moved from 98 to 78. I was the one that chose, I don't want to lose weight again. So when this thing happened, I had to change my wardrobe. I became so slim. Like, I saw myself in the mirror. I looked myself like I used to be very young. I see my face came out. You understand? So when all these things were happening, a friend visited, a family friend. I said, Frances, I've never seen you this happy. Now, and I asked him, have I always been sad? He said, no, it's not like you're always sad, but I've never seen you this happy. Now, what will happen to me? It's not like someone gave me a lecture. I changed my wardrobe. I went to make new sets of clothes. I'll make shorts. I even made shorts. I just feel like taking a stroll in the street, evening stroll, because I want people to see the work I have done and how much I have lost this weight now. So In the course of doing this, I was building confidence and building confidence that some things I wouldn't do before because I was too ashamed of whatever I don't know, which was what working in my head. I became my authentic self when I was able to release everything, guilt and all that would have laid me back. I was free. It did not just happen because I took time to invest myself in counseling. So I had a counselor, and she also was Dima Wobi, actually, she was the one with me throughout that period. And I would call her in when I'd be getting overwhelmed. So now being your authentic self does not mean it's a task you do alone. I always say it. Being my authentic self was not, you may not know what you need. Like I was telling you, I got depressed. I was in depression and I didn't know I was in depression because I thought everything was just against me. So for you to show up for your brand, you need to represent. You don't force it. You need to come from the inside of you. So when I talk about Shimeji, anywhere I go, I'm ready to fight for Shimeji. If you saw my community women, I'm ready to argue with you. You understand? Why? Because I know what I'm following. I know what value. I know what I'm driving at. Okay? So now, bringing it to your business, how can you represent a business you don't trust? Now, if your business is not authentic, you are not authentic. So if you're selling shoes that are not good quality, you cannot sell shoes proudly because people will use it and find out that it's not good. I remember a particular lady that is in my church. She sells hair. And she told me something. So I was like, all these hair mixtures and all that people sell. She said, I don't sell anything blend. Because I was like, why is your price so high, higher than every other person I've met? She was like, because my mentor told me from the beginning, never mix your product. The very day you mix your product, whatever you say, people will see them as a substandard. If you must stand for standard, stand for it. That no matter how much the people have to spend, they know they're not dealing with substandard. So if you stand for quality, stand for quality. Authenticity starts from your product to yourself or from yourself to your product, however you are blended. Okay, your personal brand represents everything you present. So if I'm naturally the person that will say, this is the product I have, this is a good quality product, my customers are testimonialing and testifying of the goodness of my product, and I go out in the street of Twitter and I'm speaking trash, like insulting the hell out of people's life and their generation to come and the future ones to arrive, you are telling us your values. You are telling us your pattern. You're telling us your product cannot either not be trusted. That is why personal brand has a lot to do with your, that's why some people spend a whole lot of money in their PR. Yes, they cover up to make sure that you don't see that side of them and so that you cannot mistrust their product. Okay? You have to be an outlier to be out there in the street. Like you made so much money and you're out there spoiling things and your product is still selling. But no matter how, your market will always feel your product, your business will always feel your personality. So there are some conversations I cannot have, not in the public because of where I want to be and what I represent and the future I'm looking at. There are some political conversations you will never, ever, ever, ever hear in my mouth. I don't even care. Even if you like, force me, I will not answer you. Why? Because what I represent is more important to me than that conversation of now. So your personal brand depends entirely on you for a great deal. Go and check out business owners and their business accounts. Their personal, okay, your personal brand, just like Jeff Bezos, if you look at his social media account, you see how many millions, and go to his company, you see how less. Their personal accounts usually have more followers because people follow who they know. People follow who know road, Abi. That's how it is said. They follow who know road. So if you say that this is it, the moment you show up, your account will sell more, your personal. That is why now Instagram has made it possible for you to collaborate with your product or your page or your business page. So whatever you're saying, people are seeing it. So you don't have to say it in your account and come and say it again in your business account. So you can interchange. Then LinkedIn has given you access to create pages on your account. So you're managing your account and you're selling your business page through your personal account. Niger Brand Chic sells her business by herself. How many of us have visited her account, her business account, as much as her own personal page? You visit her page because she's the person you know, she's the one that says what you hear. Then she now refer you to her business and you buy her product based on her name. She's a person like you and I. She lives in Nigeria. She's experiencing everything you are experiencing in Nigeria. Why is it that you will buy things because of what? Because of the level of trust you have built. So that's why it's very important. You as a business owner, build likeness, like and trust. Get visible. Let us see you exist. You're a person, you're a human. You get face, you get picture. Let them like you. The target audience, actually, it's not everybody that will like you. Those that will not like you, they still exist. They will still come. They will not like you. No matter what you do, they will not like you. So leave those ones. You're moving towards your target audience. Make sure and find what they like and let it be your identity. I'm not saying go and start pretending they like masquerade, you start wearing masquerade. If it's biting your skin, you still be wearing masquerade because your target. No, find the target audience that likes someone that doesn't wear masquerade. Trust. Well, that's where we talk about authenticity. Your product must be trustworthy. You yourself must be trustworthy. Your person is the same everywhere we find you. So if you like, so you like talking about things and information sharing, like your leader gauge, you start with this product. What you say, people go and check it is true. You talk about news tomorrow. There's a house that fell down in Japan. People check it is true. You say there's a fish that is now selling for 20 naira in Alaba, and people go and check it and it's true. They will always believe anything you say to them because you've been able to build that trust. So please, as a business person, do not fall victim or fall into the temptation of trying to manage numbers. Manage number, buying followers, buying all those things. Trust me, what is true is true. Let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next. Our time is fast running. Insights from Brene Brown. Brene Brown is someone, if you're taking my mentorship training program, we read a lot of Brene Brown's book. Yes, Being Your Authentic Self, Failing Forward, and the rest of them. Failing Forward, no, it's not Brene Brown, it's John Maxwell. But there are many books she has written that will help you as a woman. The reason why I mention her book so much, like I follow her every minute of the day, because at the time I needed something, someone referred me to her books, and it was about authenticity. I don't understand why, what's about the authentic self? I didn't know that I wasn't living my authentic life because I allowed that nature that is not the one that God created me to look like, the nature of joy and happiness, to overcome me, of shame, of whatever heavy weight or load I've kept upon myself. So for me to be on my authentic self, I should also know that I am a person. You embrace your vulnerability. There are times you know something. Agree, say you know. Don't pretend. I have made mistake. For instance, today, there's a particular statement I made to a friend of mine, and it was like cautioning me, Frances, calm down, that sometimes information are not just like that. You may not just know what God is planning. By the time I went to get a feedback from where the information was coming from, I came back and told him, shame they catch me. I don't forehand. In fact, I've offended. Now, I was offending, not because I said anything wrongly, but in my heart, I did not trust that person. But when I confirmed that the information is true and the resources are valid, and I was like, I dey shame o. In fact, before wey I dey say I get mad, I no get mad again. I'm really sorry I ever imagined this kind of thing against this person. You get? So you as a person make mistake. By nature, you are human. You will make mistake, but embrace that you're human and move on. Okay? I remember there was a time, was it no, it's not more Abudu, but somebody then on Twitter, they dragged the lady left, right, center, forward, back. Even me, I don't know how, but the level of trending, she was trending then. We all knew something that this person had issue with her. What happened to her business? She rebounced. And not just that she rebounced, her business came back good and better. So yes, that comes to a place where sometimes you have to rebrand. If your brand at a point in time, yes, there are times people make mistake. Even the brands, Tesla, iPhone, Samsung, all of them create a product sometimes that becomes a shame to their name. They have to recall. What do? They come back better. So embrace your vulnerability as a human. So that is why I tell you, if you're coming from a place of happiness, you have found your happy spot. You are happy for no reason. You've been able to find out that your happiness is not coming from external factors, but from inside of you. And you choose to be happy. Choose not to be. You see, anger is a choice. Let's let that one aside. So when you make that choice to create happiness inside of you, you'll be able to accept it when somebody says to you, Frances, what you did to me is wrong. And you say, I'm sorry, and move on with your life. Now, your ego is not smaller than it was before. And neither did it get burnt. It is still as fresh as it was before. The only thing is that we put so much weight to things that are not value, that have no value. Okay? Your ego is not anything, nothing happened. So like tomorrow you're walking in the street. Okay, that one is not even anything. I was just talking about. I was just thinking, okay, you're walking in the street, your wig falls off. Does that stop you from being human? You put back your wig, dust it very well, adjust it, dust it and keep moving. Okay, this generation, this is nothing to them now, your wig fellow. But what is it that can bring so much shame that you cannot handle? Because what? We are judging ourselves based on what we think people are thinking about us. Your authentic self comes the moment you find out that you are an individual specially created for what you do. I am the best of my business. I used to stand in front of the mirror. This is part of the things I did, coming to the best of myself. I'll stand in front of the mirror and I'll be telling myself, look at you. Look at awesomeness dripping. Look at, sometimes I'm doing it, I'm crying. Yes. Sometimes I'm doing it, I'm crying. I'm crying because I am in a struggle as at then. I was in a struggle as per. Are you saying the truth? Are you not pretending? Are you acting? What is all this? And I'm also trying to insist that I am this awesomeness that is dripping. Frances did not come and become like this. I have been through, they say, hell and high waters. How do they say those things? I even got to a point of depression that I started thinking suicide. Okay? Various things happened in my life, actually. But how did I come out to this place that I could walk in the street dancing? Shame left me. I lost the ability to shame. So you as a business person, if you can lose the ability of shame, like shame, like letting people shame you, you can speak up for your business and sell your market like no man's business. Even if they're telling you, boo, get off the stage, boo, get off the, you will say it like a child would. I told you that when you're the best of yourself is when you were a child. Children, except if when they are beginning to understand shame based on the way their parents were talking to them. You're telling a girl, get off the stage. She's still reciting her recitation. When she's done, she can now use her small little legs and walk away. Think of yourself like that. Your authentic self has that ego. Not because you want to suppress others, but you come out being yourself fully. You're entering a place that looks like everywhere is all gold, kings and queens are seated. You self na king na queen, not one head they all get, you self get, enter there. So the reason why this topic is very important to me is that many women are still held backwards from the best of their potential, both in tech and digital skills or anywhere they find it. So that's why in leadership, women are still falling more than 80-90% backwards. Okay, because many women still don't believe they stand the chance because they have not found this place of their authenticity. Okay, so let's run to the next slide. Identifying your core values. So now we've talked about authenticity from a place of value. Okay, we've talked about standing up for yourself, and we've talked about so many things. But all these things start from what your core value is. So my core value is about inclusion, is about family bonding, is about learning and independence, or whatever is your value. Everybody has a value. If I tell you to write down your values now, you can. You would. And I would like you to do that tonight. What are my core values? Now, my core value will always spill into my product. Trust me. One Stop Shop talks about domestic violence while selling her fish. One Stop Shop did not stop selling her fish, but you see, her value is spilling into trying to fight injustice into her business. And she has found a very beautiful way of blending it. And she wants to empower women. And she's teaching them business and mentoring them into that trade because there is a value that she is sending forth. So there's a way you can stand, when we say mission and vision statement and all that core values of your business, at the end of the day, it comes from you as a person, okay? Even if you have board members, all of them trying to put together ideas, you are the final decider and the strategist of your business. You still accept what looks like your personal value. Okay, so your value always shines through your business. So that's why you need to sit down and write down your value. Okay, now there's people, this is our YouTube and many other platforms that their value is misogyny and the rest of them, and they don't hide it. Whatever product they're going to be selling, you will see them sipping in that presence. They may do it intentionally or unintentionally, but their own personal value is selling through their business. It becomes the identity of their business. So they might make products that are so manly and all that. I'm not saying it's wrong to make anything for men. It's empowering as well. But if it is coming in a place of oppression, oppressing others, then you know that what you're doing is not going to help humanity. Okay? So, but at the end of the day, the reason why we build business is to help humanity. So understanding your core value is essential for building an authentic brand. And this value gives you guide your decisions and action. They guide you a lot. So these are in your subconscious, helping you to do your business. So if you're truthful, you will make sure that nobody around you. If you're listening to someone like Ibuku Awosika, you know that everything she's saying, she's talking about being honest, being true to your business, being serving God with your heart. Everything surrounding her still speaks one thing: the value to represent. So you in your business, one way or the other, is also selling your value. You're showing the world what you value the most. So if you're good with changing numbers, the day you be found out, it will expose that thing you have valued. And the way you do one thing, like I always say, I'm not the founder of this statement, but the very first day I heard it, it became a backing for me. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Okay? So if you're good at changing numbers, trust me, you have changed your age somewhere. You have lied about your class. You've lied about your weight somewhere. Numbers, you are just failing at that. Then if you're very good with this particular thing, you find out that nature is seen everywhere because it has become your nature, your building block. So now these values guide your decision and action, helping you to align your life with what you genuinely believe. So next, embracing vulnerability and growth. So we've talked about vulnerability. I am human. I make mistakes. I agree. I have made mistakes, but it does not define me. I am moving on to the next level. Yes, I made a mistake. Maybe I wasn't sure about the figure and I said this thing and I made this statement or I supplied this information. Sometimes you're penalized for that error, but it's not your identity. You're penalized because it's the consequences of your action. Yes, there are rules to life. And when you make mistake, when you steal, you pay for the crime. So when you demolish properties, you pay for it. So if there is consequences to your action, go through those consequences. Or if you have to plead for yourself. So for instance, they say you should submit your exam paper on Monday and you submitted it on Tuesday, maybe because of lack of information, because of laziness, or because of one thing. You show up and you go and meet the people in charge. If it's something that they give you room to, you apologize and show up. They say they will punish you, that they will take 5 scores from you. They take the 5 scores and you still submit it. Fine. But if they say no way, you cannot, just stay away from us, you still go back. But it does not define you. It does not define you. You're better. You're much more. Next time, I'm going to wake up and I'll do better. Okay? So this same thing applies. So during my mentorship program, we go through various steps about building yourself authentically, walking through vulnerability, and also being the best of yourself. Everybody that has walked through my mentorship program, I watch them and I see how well they are doing. It makes me proud because These are the things that we take out in details. So, and even at the end of the day, I give them a 6 months roadmap on even when I'm gone. We get part of our curriculum includes handing over to the next generation. So if I become a CEO and I want to move over to another position and handing over that position, I need to build someone that I can trust that shares the same value. I need to identify the person, hand over to the person, then move on to the next stage of my life. Okay. So by then you've started mentoring someone. You know, as you're growing in life, you're mentoring other people beneath you or around you or surrounding you. So when you're doing that, you're building the next leader around you. So sometimes you just throw out the love and the care and the support and the leadership in your vicinity. So people around you become so empowered that the conversation you're now having are no longer the one of urgent 2K. You're now having conversations that are building other women. Okay, so someone sent me a testimonial 2 days ago. I hope she gets to watch this video. She was sharing a lot of things because I remember the first time she called me, she was literally crying on the phone. She wasn't in Nigeria, and there were things happening in her life, her family life, her marriage, and her career. They were all clashing, and she was getting overwhelmed. I knew that some strong, women were like, I must make it. I must. I knew that that decision at that point in time was not the right time to take that decision because it's going to affect her marriage. I was telling her more of calm down. Yeah, relax. A time will come. You said we'll see walk and run. She called me the other day and she was like, one day I'm going to be inviting her. In fact, I've already told her that this is our value in She Merged. Once you're empowered, you come back and empower others. So very soon I'm going to be inviting her because I'm been on her case that that thing you have found out, that secret you found out, someone else. Today she earns in the neighborhood of, yes, $2,000 a month working in her home, just writing novels the way she used to. And this is the same lady that was crying, this one, that one, that one, this one, taking courses and saying, nobody's supporting me. Today, she's doing it effortlessly, even wherever she is, with her phone, anything, she's doing that. Now, your authentic self comes when you're at peace with yourself. You will find that thing that you love doing, and people will find you doing that thing you love doing. And your product will be authentic because you're doing it with your natural self happily. Okay. So your vulnerability now, understanding your state at a point in life, at your point in life, understanding your state. If you don't know how to create a website, you don't know how to create a website, and you understanding that you don't know how to create a website can now at that point in time build your strength in that, because if that's the direction you want to go, I don't know it. It's time to learn it. Okay, don't say I'll get the job and I'll learn on the job. No, sometimes it works, but be honest. Be honest, okay? So let's just read what's on the slide. Let me not talk further. The strength found in being vulnerable. Vulnerability is often perceived as a weakness, however, is a source of strength. When we embrace our vulnerability, we open ourselves up to new experiences and deeper connection with others, enhancing our personal brand. So there are some times you might want to, there are some times you might come online and you think that you're being vulnerable when you're spilling all your family secrets. That's not being vulnerable, because I need to draw this line. I see quite some things online. I'll be like, wow, that's telling too much. Can you keep some secrets away from us? We don't want to know. You get? Being vulnerable is not about spilling. Being vulnerable is about questioning yourselves, questioning your, they say, there's this quote that the quality of life you live is based on the quality of questions you ask yourself. So what questions am I asking myself? Why am I feeling like this? If you can define your feeling, trust me, you will know how to answer it. I am feeling like this because I'm jealous. I am jealous. True, I'm jealous. It's not about I'm feeling one kind. I don't know how. I don't really like this person. It's not doing me anything, no. But I am jealous. True, I'm jealous. I'm telling myself in my mind. It's not a must that you come to the public and say, I'm jealous. So what do I do about this jealousy? Be winch. Sit down with yourself, talk about it. I am jealous about this because she's making $5,000 and I'm making 2,000. That means it should be a motivation for me. So that means I need to work hard. What is it that I can learn from her to make up to that? Is it possible to collaborate with her, share value, give her this so that she can help me with this and share me with this information so that I can earn like her, or even start growing away from this $2,000 to $5,000. You understand? That's being vulnerable. That's opening yourself to yourself, accepting your weakness, and go for collaboration where it is necessary. I want to be CFO, CEO, the CTO, COO. What are they all? So understanding that being honest to yourself, honesty will help you. Now, I have done this a lot of times in my life, and I always come back with good news. That one is normal. Now, I always do this not because I love doing them, but I do them. And each time I do it, it always blesses me. When I know I don't know something, I enter DM. I'm not afraid of DM. That door is so open. Let it be that the person will not answer you, but shall enter DM. And as you're entering people's DM, you're going there with your humble hearts, with your humble knees, your bent knees. Not like you're coming to beg for help. No, you're coming not proud, not so doormat, but more like I am coming with value, and I see what you have that I need. I need your help. People are not naturally wicked. The ones that put that in there, imagine it. People are not inherently bad. Okay? People are not inherently wicked. They want to help, but you are not showing up, you're not asking for it. Okay. Yeah, my connection is now unstable. My connection is unstable now. So what I'm trying to talk about is being authentic to yourself and entering their DM where it is necessary to ask for help. So when I see people, I remember putting a call through. I had an interview that day. So for you to understand that there is no pride in asking for help. There's this interview from a newspaper, a news reporting company. They interviewed me and I was not feeling cool. When I was done with them, I took my phone. I still called a senior colleague and I said, I don't know. Thankfully, we met in a conference and all that. But something inside of me says, I need to learn a lot from you. And I have seen value in what he does. And I said, this is what I do. These are what I do. You cannot come and tell someone, help me. You should bring in what is it that you're doing you need help on, and how can I help you? I don't go about people's DM saying, mentor me, mentor me, mentor me. Sound like mentored. Don't go about asking people for mentor me. But see, these are what I'm doing. These are where I'm experiencing difficulty. How can you help me? Now, I remember going into someone's DM during my mini MBA program, and one of my lecturers, and after I heard the value this guy shared and his advancement with AI and all that, his contribution in the United States, I went to his DM and I said, sir, this is what I do. These are things I do. How can I? The guy gave me a road plan, a road map, that if I sit with it and work with it in the next 3 years, I have not exhausted the value he shared, because he wrote quite a long thing on LinkedIn DM. So if you create the kind of people that you surround yourself with and value what they bring to the table or what they have to offer, you make yourself worthy of their time. Yes, you're vulnerable, you're opening, you're sharing. These are where I'm experiencing difficulty. How can you help me? They come in with 1 or 2 chips and they don't lose anything from helping you. You did not enter their house, you did not take away their peace. But for the fact that you open, you see them respond. And that thing might help you if you were paying for counseling. Okay? So please think about that. I know I've shared quite a lot today, and let's be rounding off. Building your confidence in yourself. So practical tips to fostering self-confidence. Self-confidence is very much essential to your business for your personal growth. Be confident, be confident. See, there is no place you cannot enter in this world. See, let's start from your principal's office when you were much younger. And you say to the principal, go and call the principal himself. I don't know, not every school has that, but if you have this principal that rarely comes out, you see him only in the assembly once in a month, so that kind of thing. So, and he say, Go to the principal's office and get this file. And it's somewhere nobody goes. You're coming. You knock gently. When you're done knocking, you stand. They say, come in. You come in and stand near the door. Like, the first I entered my principal's office in secondary school, it was like heaven. You know, I don't know, inside a school environment, there'll be rock, there'll be AC, there'll be all these beautiful things. I'll be like, hey, this is heaven. Is this really school? You understand? Then the principal says to you, report to me what happened in school today. You know, fit talk. You cannot talk well because you're still in R. So the same thing applies in our adult life. When you see people that are doing advancedly, we hide behind that word ma, sir, ma, sir. Oh boy, ma, sir, when you finish ma, sir, stand up straight. Stand up straight. Look confident because people respect that. You know, everybody. So let me even use the word. Forgive me. Let me ask. I apologize early before I start. Everybody they shit. Everybody enter toilets. Okay. So if you know that we are all humans, the only thing is experience and knowledge separates the two of you. But as for human beings, yes, you are. You walk in, dress well, smile, show up, and talk. People respect you. There are doors that will be open to you if only you show up. Okay? There are some times you might have to pay subscription to be in a community to be able to commune with those people. But if you're in that community, speak up for yourself. Okay? So be confident. And your confidence is something you can never borrow from somebody. You have to sit down. So let me show you how we started it. By standing in front of the mirror and you're talking to yourself. Yes, you can do this, you can do that. Okay? You praise yourself. You build on your own praise. That when you go out, even if somebody is dressing you down to your shoes, you are still standing like a rock. Okay, so confidence is essential for your personal growth. Start by setting small, achievable goals because any small goal you achieve, trust me, it builds on your natural confidence. Okay, so achievable goals to experience success. Surround yourself with positive influences and practice self-compassion. This thing I'm doing, it's more powerful than you ever know. When was the last time you ever held yourself like this? I don't know about the nerves and the side of your body that what it does or what it doesn't do, but psychologically, if you do this to yourself, you are also comforting yourself like a baby. Now, we have done this practice severally in our counseling community and therapy sessions many years back. You do this to yourself as a woman. Do that and say to yourself, it's okay. You'll be fine. Whatever it is, say nice things to yourself. Comfort yourself. The brain, this is our brain, doesn't know when you're acting. That's why you'll be watching Straw and you'll be crying as if you're the one that they beat. The brain is natural. Like we can deceive our brain because man, as a human being, we are in constant state of trance. You don't know what is reality until you believe on something. So comfort yourself, okay? Self-compassion. That's very important for every woman because there are times even your children will make you want to go nuts. But sit down and calm yourself down. Take rest when you have to. It's very important to your personality if you are happy. If you are happy, there is nowhere you cannot enter. So remember, every step taken towards your goal is a step towards greater confidence. So small goals, you win them. But if things are not going as you want, please nurse yourself, pat yourself, eat good food, drink water, if that's the only thing you can achieve, and sleep. Okay, thank you so much, Sawa. Then communicating. I think we still have much things to go through, but what happens is that, okay, just these two slides and I will round off. So communicating your personal brand effectively. Share your unique story with confidence and clarity. Please share your story with confidence and clarity. Make sure that when you're telling your stories, you're not lying or be authentic. Tell your true story, but not everything. Know what to share on the internet. Please, I'm begging you. If you want me to need that, I'm begging. Do not share what is unnecessary for the internet. Do not share what you don't want to see tomorrow. Don't say because Frances say we should write our story. Keep what is meant for the private life private, please. And don't follow people to celebrate what is meant for the private for private conversation. Now, okay, I wasn't even going to go into that, but if you're representing somebody, for someone like me that speak in events, there are some events you're speaking in, is a private event. I'm not the one that will come and announce it in the public. If the organizers are not willing to share their story, maybe it's a personal or family gathering and you're called to be the MC, you're not the person to talk about it outside. So be careful what you share. So we'll not say, I'm talking about my brand story, my success story. You come and reveal one family secret. If you go to court, not be me and you. Go alone. So communicating your personal brand effectively, share your unique story with confidence and clarity. To effectively share your brand, articulate your unique story clearly and authentically. We can never miss the word authentic. Okay? Engage with your audience, listen actively, speak the language they understand. Not because I'm talking like you, I'm not in a professional environment. I'm speaking pidgin, I'm adding a lot of things that are more like us Nigerians. But when I'm talking to people that are more professional, I cannot come down to talk like this. Or maybe I'm talking to people that are outside Nigeria, they don't understand Nigerian jokes. I have to talk in a way they understand as well. So remember, communication is not just about speaking, it's about connecting with others. So marketing your personal brand or using your personal brand to market your business goes a long way if you're able to connect. So if my audience are like Brother Shaggy, I'm selling products, so then I cannot be talking like this. I'm talking over their head though. I have to come down to their level, remove wig, scatter my hair, and I'm selling these products. The bonge, at the end of the day, they're buying from me because they're your target audience. But if I'm selling to people, it's about connection, okay? So being authentic self now is not same with you, Sawa, or Esther, or anybody else, or myself. Myself, my authentic self is unique to me and my audience, okay? We communicate. So my audience might not be your audience, but understand whom your audience are like and how you represent them, okay? And connection will happen. Then living your life authentically. First, discover your truth, your core values, identify what truly matters to you and align your actions accordingly. So if what matters to me is truth, I should not be found doing things that are not truthful. Okay? But what if you make that mistake and you did something and later find that it's not truthful? Or maybe in your past life, you used to live this kind of life and you've changed. And someone is trying to bring it up to the surface to shame you. Maybe it's your old Twitter post. How do you handle it? That's where you embrace vulnerability. Yes, I did this wrong, but does not define me. And move on. Okay? So it doesn't mean that when you are living your authentic life, everything will align. There are some people waiting for you to make sure they see your downfall. You understand? But in the course of it, you will go through it confidently, authentically as yourself. Then cultivate deep connections. Deep connections. Then authenticity fosters trust, strengthens relationship with others. So then the next is enhance your well-being. Okay, I've talked about your mental and emotional health, how important it is, because if you're not happy, you're not living authentic. It's a lie. You're faking it. You're pretending because inside of you, you're not in agreement. Have you seen someone saying something like, I love apples? Hi. The person does it. It's about body language. I love apples. How does that agree? I'm so happy. There is a difference with I'm so happy about what happened today. The wedding was a success. I'm so happy about what happened today. It was a success. You understand? There is no agreement between my body language and what I'm saying. And your body does not lie. That's why lie detectors are still working today, because your body will say the truth. So when you are being your authentic self, you're selling your personal brand, let everything about you, the way you speak, the way you talk, the language you use, be in agreement to your core values. Okay? Then living authentically, embracing your true self leads to fulfillment. I think with that, we are open to questions. So what questions do you have for me today? And after this, we can go into other things we have, but I think this much like everything for now. Then doors are opened for questions right now. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's see what's going on YouTube. Okay. Okay, so we are up for questions. I don't know what's up in here right now. You can send your question in the chat. You can send your question in later. We are all in the same group. So if you want to ask me questions in the group or personally, please feel free to ask me questions and we can run it off today. Then I want to keep to, well, this is 2 hours. This is almost 9 o'clock. So I'll be leaving room for questions even afterwards. Well, before then, I would like to say, oh, yeah, someone wants to ask a question. Please go ahead and ask. Yes,
All right, Madam Francis, thank you so much for
you're
this
welcome.
wonderful section. I didn't know that I will even stay to the end, but it got me my attention, and it
Uh,
actually hits me in the right I didn't expect. So thank you. Like in this, actually, like and bringing out your personal brand. I'm the kind of person that also I like to sit behind the camera, not showing my face. And at times I look at it like, okay, and professionally on LinkedIn, I show my true self. And during building my personal business brand on, I hardly want to show my face. I'm balancing that one as because when you say that we should check ourselves out on Google, when I type my who is Salawa Slawa on Google, it bring it out like the post I made on LinkedIn because I was even like ashamed of it. I didn't later join the visibility on LinkedIn or the group you had, but the post I made on LinkedIn around 2024, like middle or thereabouts, and the post I made when I was doing a mentorship session. So that was what I see, and I see a little bit of maybe my brand on on social media, Facebook and the like. But I'm really not like but I didn't really see what I really want to see, like okay through myself. So is it like how can one blend it together? I'm sorry that I don't even want to compose my question. Thank you.
I get you.
I
I
can now
understand.
blend it together. Yes, no, thank you, ma.
You're welcome. So I see your question is more like I searched for myself online. I didn't see what I wanted to see, but how will you see what you do not put? It's like going to the fridge and looking for a bottle of Coke you did not buy. You understand? You have to put those things there. So yeah, baby steps, baby steps. That's where we start from. Start from baby steps. Show up. What is it that you do? So there's this thing people do once in a while. In fact, people forget because you're not the center of the world. They move on with their lives. Introduce yourself. You can do it quarterly. You can do it 6 months. You introduce yourself to social media. So, and people don't get tired of seeing you because even each time you come to introduce yourself, you must have built something extra in yourself that you will talk about. So you can look into that and see, what do I want to talk about? Now you need to sit down and define what you want to be seen as. Some of us are multi-talented. You know now. You can sew clothes, you can do selfies, you can do anything you want. Like you're graced, you're very good at everything, which is not bad. But what do you want to be known as? Okay. When we talk about multiple streams of income, you must have excelled in a lot of them. What do you want to be known as? You want to be identified as one thing, then talk about that more often. And then once in a while, you talk about the other things you do. So you let people understand. Now, people know me as some people know me as a public speaker. Some people know me for Shimed, and I work with women and I help women build their skills and career while living a balanced life with their family and also navigating tech. And some people know me as a graphic designer from many years back. And some people know me as a UI UX designer. Some people know me as a mentor on Google Hustle Academy. Some people know me as this and that. And each time I come to represent any particular situation, I bring in my A game. But what is it that people know me online? It's all about women. Okay, women empowerment, skills, learning, talent management, digital and skills and mentorship. So that's what people, but some people are still, that's why when I talk about this, what I do, sometimes I bring in the other side of me. So see, I also compare, I'm an MC in an event and you can come. So, but the thing is that I don't show up every day as MC. I don't show up every day as a graphic designer. I don't show up and even right after as I'm talking to you, I still have projects on graphic design I'm still doing. I still have projects on UI UX and I still do trainings. I still do digital marketing. I still train people on digital marketing. I still do all this in copywriting. And I don't talk about them. Okay. So you need to be true to one per time. So you bring in your skills gradually. Now, the importance of consistency is the fact that you must not be posting every day of the week. It doesn't end. Life, 20 years, 30 years, we want to live to 100 years of our lives. So you're going to write posts for the next 80 years or so. Every single day, you cannot do that. You'll be overwhelmed. So choose, if you want to be showing up twice a week or 3 times a week, remain consistent. Remain consistent. You want to be showing up twice a week, fine. It's fair. Don't do once a week. It will be too long before you get back. So twice a week, then socialize. The reason why it's called social media is for you to meet people, interact with them, interact with other people's posts, enter their DM, meet them. You are in a market, use the market, okay? So now you're talking about, I want to be seen on the internet. Like, I want to Google my name and see a certain thing, like certain pictures, then define me. But yeah, start today. Create a calendar and start writing. Our visibility challenge, 20 days visibility challenge prompts are still in the chat. Pity, I lost my WhatsApp chats throughout this year. I lost everything in every chat, so I don't even have those prompts again. You can find them in the chat if you're in our community already. Follow them day by day for 20 days. Don't miss any. If you can't do that, you will create a habit. Okay? If you can do that, you create a habit that you will naturally flow with. Because yes, I did it. I did it sometime and I created a habit. Then building my happiness, I think I forgot to mention that, was I also did it intentionally for 30 days, 30 days of happy. And what I was doing that to build on my happiness was writing down every night before I sleep. I write down at least 10 things that happened during the day that was very positive and how I contributed to it and how it makes me feel. Okay. So if I write 10 things, nice things, small things, because naturally our mind knows how to pick on the negative side. We forget there are good things that happens to us. As little as you woke up and there was nobody ache. You woke up and you saw your children healthy and healthy. There are things to be thankful for. If you can do that for 20 days, 30 days, trust me, you naturally start seeing positive things more than you see negative things. And it happened to me. So I didn't have to go through special therapy and people have to talk to me and ask me questions about my personal life. But those actions were things my mentors had then helped me to go through. I started becoming more of my happier self. Okay. I think I hope I've answered your question. Okay.
Yes, I'm about to type. You have answered my question very well. I
Okay.
have written that one down 10 things I will try that aspect. And I know that showing up consistently is where I'm lacking. Like consistency is something that I need to work on personally. Like, thank you so much. I really appreciate your response.
You're welcome. So am I still sharing my screen? I want to be sure. I want to stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, sharing your screen. What questions do you have?
Okay, I will stop now so that we can round off. Stop. Oh, great. I've stopped. So is there any question in the chat? Okay, no questions. So I wasn't looking at the chat, I was looking at my slide. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. How would it have been if I were just here talking to myself? Without active audience, it wouldn't have made sense. So I really, 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 really appreciate you guys. And also then for those that be watching the replay, I also appreciate your time and I can't wait to hear your questions. So enjoy the rest of your evening. So for those of you, yeah, I've stopped streaming on YouTube. For those of you joining us in here, yeah, so we'll